It's been a while since we've done an unboxing video, and I just got a very random lot of 70 wrestling magazines, actually over 70 supposedly, and I really don't know that much else about them. I took a chance. I actually paid about $2 a magazine for this lot, well, assuming there's 70, so let's see what we have. Post office said it was coming open on the bottom, so we're going to open it from the bottom anyway, but if there's something like, if there's a rare one in here, I'm going to be finding out for the first time. I always think these make fun unboxing videos, though, of things that I have no idea what I'm supposed to be getting. That's kind of, I love those old commercials. Actually, this one feels really interesting because it feels like there's cards in here, though, which would be really nice. Yes, there are. Wow, that's a good start. So you can get the giant. I remember. I used to get these. So I think that means that, yeah, they even have an address label on them. That's a pretty good start. Except I am not a Michael Jordan fan, so kind of ironic. But I didn't remember he was being on the cover of a. That's kind of an iconic magazine. I mean, Jordan is great. I'm just not a huge fan. Actually, I like Jordan better than LeBron James, though. So, okay, I'm telling you, I'm probably giving you a lot of information you didn't need to know. Actually, this is gonna. So far, wow, this is why I take chances sometimes. These I can tell right away, the cards, and if you're like me, you can feel the difference between the magazines. Like sometimes when I'm at a flea market or something, I can tell right away. So we're 2 for 2. This one does not have cards in it from the feel. Yep, it doesn't. I'm not sure if it's, I don't know my magazines well enough to know what year they stopped and exactly. So that's kind of a cool cover too with Diesel. So far, I mean, that's a cool, and these are in very nice condition. And this was a subscription one, so maybe the cards got taken out. But we're back to cards. Actually, I remember this magazine. Oh, this one has so it's a little different. I should be giving you the years on these. This one has the Jumbo Undertaker card and then 3 small ones. I believe there's a couple like Triple H and maybe Isaac Yankem are some of the rare, I mean, not really the rare cards, but the ones closer to their rookie cards. That's our 4th WWF magazine. I don't think they're all supposed to be WWF, but I'm not even sure on that. This one doesn't have cards. This was April '93 Yokozuna. This one you can even tell is a little worse condition. Maybe the cards were taken out, and that's why the cover feels just a little soft on that one. But then we're back to the cards with Gold Dust. Yeah, this is why I love buying mystery magazines, because you never know what you could get in some of these. I believe that's 6 as well too. Let's hope he counted right and that there's over 70. This one definitely has cards. I remember getting this one in a subscription. Another set of cards there. Really not talking much else about the magazines except for the cards. This was when Lawler was first, and he was like one of the bigger heels in WWF. I mean, we had that feud with Bret Hart and stuff like that, so kind of an interesting cover. I haven't really been commenting on the magazine, but so interested in the cards. That's actually a really cool cover too. And yes, well, that might be I think that's the Isaac Yankem rookie right there. That might have just paid for the lot right there from what we know. And we are. Yeah, this one. I remember Bret Hart. This is when the Lonesome Dove set. Yeah, these are really bringing back memories for me. I had subscriptions at this time. I'm sure I still have those someplace. This one doesn't have cards. Doink. I guess is Doink next on DiBiase's wish list. I'm gonna guess that's when Doink was still a heel then, and maybe DiBiase was building his corporation. Not 100% sure on that. I liked Doink as a wrestler. I mean, I actually thought heel Doink was better than the face Doink, but that was the problem. I think he became so good. This one's WrestleMania 6. I do remember this one. Actually, this one, I don't know if you guys want all my stories or not, but I had a subscription at this time, and then they didn't, it just wasn't, my magazine wasn't coming. And so I called the 800 number or whatever and said, hey, I haven't gotten the March issue, and then so they sent one, and I got their issue about 3 days later. Came in like almost like a priority mail envelope, and I still ended up with this one about 2 weeks later. So it was really slow, but I ended up with 2 copies, and I thought that was really cool as a kid to get 2 copies, because this was a really I mean, anytime I was a Hulkamaniac, you know that. So Well, this one's interesting because I believe it's still... Nope, it's not sealed. And there's no cards, and we'll just leave it there for now. It's kind of cool because it kind of reminds you of... I think it's a free calendar is what they're advertising there, so it kind of reminds you of what they sometimes came in. I love these old like Nintendo ads too. I liked Nintendo. Never really got past the Super Nintendo. Kind of got out of video games by that point. But I really was into Nintendo. This is a cool Ultimate Warrior cover. That's November 90. So you're getting the SummerSlam 90 results of that. Remember, it was like so SummerSlam would be like late August, and here you have the November. But then you'd usually get this issue. I would say you'd probably get this issue in early to mid-October, even though it was the November issue. And then, so then you get your SummerSlam results. I mean, of course, you knew some of them from primetime, but it was more fun to read about them in magazines. So yeah, this is before cards came out. June. So far, it's just been all WWF magazines. The ones with the cards are kind of cool. We got the Wrestling Buddies on the back of this one. Oh, wow. Yeah. I never had a Wrestling Buddy until later in life when I became a collector. I didn't have one as a kid. And so I always thought they were cool. Those I remember the Toys R Us commercials with them. Okay, this is a Battlemania. I did a Battlemania magazine. I would have to buy these at my local supermarket. Had a small magazine stand. I mean, I actually think this is the first one. Yeah, their premiere issue. There it is. Yep. So that's pretty cool, actually. I have at least a couple copies of that, but the backs of these magazines are good that we're going to make. Remember Body Stars? That was on the USA Network, I believe. Yes. Once again, I wasn't really that into it as a youngster. Now it's kind of intriguing as, oh, that's because, okay, this isn't, okay, now the question is, do you have posters in here? And the answer is yes. That looks like an Ultimate Warrior poster still attached. That's pretty cool. This is a later one too, because yeah, that's definitely later Warrior. I don't know if I don't see a date on it, so I wouldn't. You could probably let's take if you're watching this for you're interested in this just as much as I am. So you Taker is here and kind of popular. So I'm gonna guess sometime like mid '91. LOD's already here, so yeah, this has to be at least. And there's the Macho Man poster. So his retirement match, it looks like, I believe this has to be Macho Man as a face after, this could even be closer to 92 then, because Macho's back. You have Tatanka, we have Flair, and he would have come in late 91. I'm going to guess this is 92 though, so this is like a much later Ultimate Warrior. I wonder if Warrior had an early spotlight. Does anyone know that? Hey, leave a comment below. Is this Warrior's second spotlight, or is this his first? That's a cool one. I remember that as a kid. I thought Elizabeth was awesome. And when I was really little, I thought the Macho Man was horrible to her. That I kind of understood, and that's part of the act. This is where Fraud was exposed. Before you had her, Macho Man, I had her, and yeah, that was funny. And then you have the Randy and Liz towels, and then I thought it was funny. They're watching TNT, and then they had to zoom in. Oh, look at those Coliseum videos on the wall. So they're obviously watching they're watching a rerun of TNT. It was actually pretty. I thought it was ingenious at the time. The Bulldog. I liked Davey Boy Smith. I always liked them better as the British Bulldogs together. I believe that's Winston, not Matilda. We've got the Spotlight and Battlemania. Otherwise, it's just been WWF at this point. Here's another WWF, Jake the Snake Roberts. This is July 91, just a good year for everything. Razor Ramon, March 93. Yeah, there's no cards in these. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to... Haven't really been going through them, but that'll just take forever. More or less to see what they are. If there's something rare, I might look into it. Here you have the Primetime Wrestling ad on the back. Like I said, it's kind of fun to watch. Just look at the backs of these. Here's Tatanka 92. This is probably the time where they had some of those issues with steroids and the scandals and stuff like that. So this is right after it's October 91, so right after the match Made in Heaven, SummerSlam. They do have the catalogs are fun to go back and look at. Oh, just I opened to this WWF trivia. I did that was one of the first things I went to every month, and even as a kid, I was pretty good. I mean, there'd be like the 3-point questions. I didn't know everything, but something I really enjoyed. I didn't do the crossword puzzle because I didn't like to write in my magazines. So I wouldn't write in the magazines at all. I tried to keep my magazines even as a kid in its pristine condition. I read them, so they did get a little, and a couple of them got a little bit more, but I certainly wasn't going to write in them. This one actually feels like it's got something in the middle, but nope, I think it might just be the WWE. It's the catalog, and maybe a lot of those little subscriber things. So we're just... Here you go. That's a pretty cool back. There's some cool backs to some of these, which... Oh, I remember this one, too. I liked that one. That's a really cool... This is Hogan right around WrestleMania 7 time against Slaughter. Actually, even says in this issue, WrestleMania 7. No cards or anything, but... Love the fact that all the catalogs are in. And these are definitely in decent condition, so you can't complain about this. I've lost count, so I'll have to go back and watch the video and count to make sure I got 70. But at this point, it seems like I'm getting some very good magazines, so I'm not that worried about it. There's the WrestleMania Challenge. Oh wow, that's a kind of a cool. That's WrestleMania 7 program. I want to say these were these available? These were available on the newsstand, I'm pretty sure. But they're still definitely right. It's got the catalog in a very good condition. WrestleMania 7 starts. We just saw the magazines around this time. This is one of the first really nice pieces, because I'm going to guess this sells for about 20 bucks online. I might even be a little low there. It's the WrestleMania 7 program. So I'm pretty sure this is what they would have had at the arena too. The only difference is I do think that they sold it at the newsstands for a little while too, but I'm not even 100% sure on that. Oh, here's just a regular program with Hogan on the cover. And, oh boy, it's issue number, or volume number 168, if I'm reading that correctly. And you got Hebner in the ring, but let's see if we can figure out around what year this program, it'd be really cool if there's a lineup card in it, but... Well, you have the Red Rooster. So we're probably talking somewhere around WrestleMania 5, but it looks like the Twin Towers have not split yet. And WrestleMania 5, I do believe, is when the Twin Towers, unless I'm off a year, is it WrestleMania 6? But I actually think it was WrestleMania 5, but I could be wrong. Ultimate Warrior Targets record. Yeah, this has to be around WrestleMania 5 time. It might even be before Macho turned heel. You got the Mine Doll. How many of you have a Mine Doll? I have one that's still new in package. One of my favorite wrestling souvenirs. Here's the posters. I actually have most of these posters. Macho Elizabeth. I have all 4 of those on that page. I have the Warrior. I have the Beefcake. I do not have the bottom 3, or I don't think I have the Macho Man with sunglasses on that page. Yeah, so this is the rest. This is just this is just a program. No, too bad there's no lineup card in it. Those are always fun to see, especially if it's from a different part of the country. I don't even know where these got shipped from, so I don't know. Here's just a Taker versus Nails. I actually should remember that but I really don't. I remember Nails and Boss Man. Nails didn't last that long. I mean, we all know the famous story of him and Vince, but who knows? And we have really, I mean, I was not expecting all WWF magazines, but I'm not complaining at this point because they're kind of fun and they're really nice condition. And for WWF magazines, that's sometimes fun. This is a cool, I remember getting this cover in the mail. I thought it was really cool. I think this might have been, let's see, Survivor Series results, probably why I was interested. This is February of 9th, so that would have been Survivor Series 89. Another Undertaker, early Taker. Taker was such an interesting one early in his life. Like, he came off as this amazing heel, and then he was one of the first heels. I mean, kind of him and Macho, and I guess you'd have to put Jake the Snake Roberts in that category too of heels, and they were almost like so over because they were such good heels. And all 3 of them turned face then. Roberts went back to heel. Macho went back to heel pretty quick. I mean, about a little more than a year. And then Taker actually stayed face the longest, probably. There you have the summer. So yeah, this is all, you're getting around SummerSlam 91. All around. I mean, yeah, SummerSlam 91 that would have been. Here we have July. Is it going to be WrestleMania? I actually think this is July 92. I don't think No, it is exclusive. Okay, so they did get the WrestleMania results out pretty quick. That's actually kind of a cool cover too, with shadows and stuff like that. I mean, that's. I hope I'm going at a good pace for you guys. I don't think anyone wants to be here 2 hours, but at the same time, we want to see everything. Here's Papa Shango. This is September of '92. For a while, oh, he was big for a while. This is actually, I mean, I'm sure most of you know, but he was the Godfather. I mean, he actually turned into Kama Mustafa first. What is it? The Supreme Fighting? No. Oh, he had some nickname, the Supreme Fighting Champ or something like that. Kama. Yeah, something like that. And then he turned into the Godfather, and of course the rest is history from there. Really nice guy. If you've ever had the chance to meet him, he'll talk wrestling with you. I have a photo with him as the Godfather. I have a photo with him as Papa Shango, and the photo's really cool with Papa Shango. That was one of my favorite photos. Here we have the Survivor Series results, February 91, 7, Survivor Series 90. Both Hogan and Warrior were hot at that time. Beefcake, May of '90. Brutus the Barber. I loved Brutus the Barber as a kid. I actually respect him more than I think a lot of people do. I actually thought he was a better wrestler than he gets credit for. His matches were entertaining. Here we have December of '92, Shawn Michaels. So far, aside from a couple other things, everything WWF. Here we have Flair with the belt. That's kind of a cool. I remember like all the people who could challenge Flair. Did anyone actually think Piper was going to be? I mean, I love Roddy Piper. Don't get me wrong, but did anyone think Roddy Piper was going to be the one to get to challenge Flair? And at the press conference, Piper's all mad that they pick Hogan. I'm like, yeah, Roddy, what have you done? I mean, Roddy Piper is awesome, but yeah, he wasn't going to main event WrestleMania against Flair. The old Mountain Dew. I love the old Mountain Dew. That just reminds me of my childhood too. July '90, Macho King. Pretty cool cover. Here's a Hogan. This one's a little loose. So we got a couple that are a little loose, but overall I cannot complain about the condition of these magazines. This one actually, yeah, this one has cards. Actually, this one looks like the one card that looks like the Deuce of Jerosi card's a little dinged up. That's fine. I mean, it's been. There we have Bob Backlund, and then we have a whole. You actually even have a crease across. It was just kind of too bad, but still pretty cool to get 9 cards. A lot of those cards are very hard to have in mint condition. The Rock is 91. I thought that was going to be an earlier issue. Like a slightly earlier one. No cards in that one. Well, here's one that you could tell the staple came out of that one on the front. It's a little older, April '88. This is back like this. This is a little before they changed their. This is more like the '86, '87, '88 style of the magazine. Had the interviews and stuff like that. It's a cool. I mean, that will just be fun to read. Yeah, the cover is almost completely off of that one, so it's a little less collectible, but still fun. That's a cool shot of Taker. This is January of '92, so after Survivor Series 91. And Survivor Series 91 would have been the Gravest Challenge that led into this Tuesday in Texas. So that's still heel Taker. Very clear. That's probably why I made the cover, too. We might not even have had the Tuesday in Texas results yet by that time, so that's maybe what they were doing. He might have been considered the champion. Here's Hart, November of '92. This one felt something in it, but I don't think it had cards at this point yet. Yeah, no, it's just a little. It's just a catalog and stuff like that. Ultimate Warrior. That's where he's in his feud with Shango. Ric Flair, another one. Ric Flair with the director's chair. Oh, here's the exclusive results of the Hogan Shocker from this Tuesday in Texas results. These are all, you can tell these are all about that same time now. This is before the cards came in the magazine, but fun time for wrestling. Here's Yokozuna. Oh, here's Bundy, and then of course Jameson on the cover. Can we zoom in on Jameson? Yep, Jameson and the Chris. I loved probably the right age. Jameson there and Bundy on the cover. Pretty cool magazine. I believe it's Jameson's only cover. This one has cards, I can tell. Big Daddy Cool, that's a little later. Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Big Daddy Cool. And what kind of cards are there? Let's pull this out. Okay, back to that style right there. And you get the giant Sid Justice. Whoever had these originally was like, B, didn't take the cards out of their magazine. That's smart to do. Here's Roddy from December of '89. Him and Rude had that big feud for a while. Oh, here is, this is not a WrestleMania program, but this was just like I'll call it a special collector's issue on the newsstands of just the WrestleMania, history of WrestleMania. I'm going to guess the first, I'm first 7 from the looks of it, because you have Macho and Elizabeth reunited on the cover, so I'm going to guess history of the first 7 WrestleManias. I loved it. I mean, I'd save up my money and buy them, and so I'm sure I had this originally. It's pretty thick for me. I mean, it was about twice as big as the original WWF magazine back then, so honestly, it's one that, I mean, you could probably, it depends on, I mean, you're talking chip, like if you're at a flea market, you're probably talking $2 and maybe $3. It's actually a pretty cool magazine, so unfortunately not worth it. Ooh, here's a Spotlight. Second one of these, and once again, this I know this one's a later one too, because the Legion of Doom, or the Road Warriors, but they were called Legion of Doom in WWF. So now the big question is, does it have the posters? The Ultimate Warrior one did. You can't really tell from, because yes, I believe it does. And honestly, you can't really tell. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, you should be able to, because I actually know the Spotlights that have no posters in them are they're like really thin. They're like, I mean, they feel like about a quarter of a magazine, and this one feels like almost a full W issue. So that's why you should be able to tell from the posters. So I should have been able to tell that, but that's okay. I'm happy because I'm 2 for 2 in posters. I know we're gonna have to reset the camera here in a second because I'm getting to my limit, but we'll keep going. And we have Bret Hart. All these were right around the same time, which is just crazy. Jake the Snake. Big Boss Man. I'm assuming that's right after. It's April of '90. So that's WrestleMania 6. Yeah, I think he's got to be a face by this time on the cover. I loved the WWF. I mean, I loved the WWF magazine covers. I would love to just like somehow do something with all the covers. Here's another Battlemania. This is the second Smash issue. Actually, these had posters. I didn't even check the first one. Are the posters in this one? I can't tell from feeling it. But yes, they are. Okay, yeah, these posters weren't quite as good, if I remember correctly. You have Bossman and the Mountie. Actually, I don't know where the front of the Mountie is, and there's the front of the Mountie. So, yeah, pretty cool. But they're a lot rarer with the posters, and Battlemania. Just another stuff for us. I mean, I fell for it. I remember, like you said, I'd have to save my money for the Battlemania, save my money for the WrestleMania 1 through 7 history. And then Spotlights came out. I remember when Demolition Spotlight came out. They were by far my favorite tag team, and pretty sure I bought 2 of them so I could have each poster. Man, I was a spoiled kid, I guess. No, actually I wasn't, because I had to save. I remember having to save. This is all I bought was wrestling stuff. January of '91, kind of a cool. It's the WrestleMania. No, sorry, June of '91. It's WrestleMania 7 results. They actually got the WrestleMania results out a little quicker than they did like SummerSlam and stuff like that, which makes sense. So there's an ad for WF Mania. Oh, look at this. It's an Andre the Giant. I'm assuming it's when he passed away. And okay, this one feels average. So does that mean there's posters in it? Yes, it does. Oh, look at that. I don't even sure I have this magazine. I might have one, but I definitely don't think I have one with posters. So that's kind of cool. But the problem is, I'm going to keep the posters in the magazine since they're in, so I don't get to like use the posters, but that's pretty cool, honestly. Andre the Giant. I'm going to have to look for, maybe I'll have to find some Andre the Giant posters that are already out and see if I can get a good deal on those at some point. This one feels thick. Ooh, LT, WrestleMania 11. Yes, I liked them. I thought it was great. Got the cards in it. So you might be wanting to see all the cards. It's a little harder because this box is getting a lot lighter now that we're getting down. Actually, we still have a lot of magazines. Hey, we have our first non-WWF. I'm sorry, I got a little excited there. But this is actually... Can we get a year on this? Spring of '89. So right around the time all the other magazines have come from, someone decides I'm going to buy some of the other magazines and get a... Oh, you gotta love the ratings. No color in this one, so this is a pretty cheap magazine. No color whatsoever, except for the cover and the back cover. This one has a Beach Blast, so... Yes, it's a WCW magazine with Sting, so and that has to be early. I'm not sure. I know some of the WCW magazines are a little rare. I'm not sure if this is one. And what are we looking at? It does have a catalog, which is nice. I see a Van Hammer, a lot on the Sting. This is Stone Cold, or actually before he was Stone Cold, the Z-Man interview. Cool. I mean, WCW. I did not buy I don't think WCW magazines were at my newsstand either, so I don't think it was totally just me. So I know that's worth probably more than the WWF magazines are, so let's hope we get a few more of those, but we don't. Here's a pretty Wrestling Eye. Actually, I don't think this is a bad magazine. I just don't think it's not... Yeah, it's not color at all again. It's got a lot of, like, apartment fighting, too, which... It's got a little color. So there's your color right towards the beginning. Here's looks like a PWI. Nope, this is Wrestling USA, but it looks like it's the same company as PWI. And from the mid-'80s. So here's some of the other stuff. Here's actually PWI with Luger on the cover. Yeah, these didn't hold up quite as well. These covers are definitely loose. Oh! Wow, here's another program. Once again, I'm not sure. This one might not have been... I don't think this one was available on the newsstand. So that's kind of cool. This is a SummerSlam 88. It's not in mint condition, but maybe a solid 7 or 8 out of 10, so that's not bad. Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks. Just even... Okay, now this is before... Yeah, this isn't the results. This is the preview. Since we're getting towards the end, let's take a little break and see what else. We have the Hart Foundation versus Demolition. This is Demolition... This is 88. So this is Demolition's first pay-per-view title defense because they would have just won the belts from Strikeforce at WrestleMania 4. And so this one would have followed that. So the Hart Foundation would have been... Oh, so they were faced by that time because Hart, of course, at WrestleMania... Bret Hart at WrestleMania 4 got screwed by Bad News Brown in the Battle Royal. And then it took him a little while to become face, but eventually he did. So there we go. I actually think Demolition won this, but... Because I don't think Yeah, Demolition had to have won this one somehow. Jake the Snake Roberts versus Hercules. I honestly don't even remember that match. And I have heard, like, some of the major newsletters, like I just listened to the Torch, one of their reviews, and they did not, their editors were not big Hercules fans. And Hercules was okay, but I do not remember this match at all. But maybe I should agree with them more than that, because if I can't even remember their match, you know, honestly, yeah, actually, maybe I have to watch SummerSlam 88 tonight because I don't remember a lot of these matches. Powers of Pain would have been faces at that point. That would have been a squash. Bossman would have been fairly new. He was just going to squash Coco. Patera versus Bad News Brown. Patera, they tried to do something with him, but he never quite made it. Morocco versus Bravo, a rematch from their WrestleMania 4 tournament. And then you have Junkyard Dog versus Ravishing Rick Rude. Man, it's been a long time since I've... And then Jesse Ventura and Brother Love. Well, Jesse Ventura would have been the guest referee. Not sure what Brother Love would have been doing there either. So, yeah, so SummerSlam. I'm surprised he was there at SummerSlam 88. I just... We have a few left. Let's hope for a few more. Ooh, this one does not have a cover. I don't know if we're going to find the cover or if it's just not having a cover. It's got the Pile Driver album on it, so I can't even figure out. So it's going to be, it's right around that time. It's got an interview with Slick. You can kind of see everything, and I'm not that worried about it. I mean, it's not that exciting because it's got the cover. Here we have Savage and Hunk. It's right around Savage's face turn. Here, there's 3 of these, it looks like, so, and yeah, I can kind of tell what they were, so that's kind of cool. This was a little bit later, with the Out of the Ring challenges. It's like comic book. I believe they're almost like pure comic books, aren't they? Yeah. They're just pure comic books. It's kind of cool in its own sort of way. 3 of them. You have Out of the Ring challenges with Bushwhackers and Nasty Boys. You have Undertaker and Big Boss Man. And then you have Ultimate Warrior. Well, it seems to be somewhere in the 90-91 range. Oh, here's just... I hope you didn't count these as issues, but I'm not gonna. I've been pretty happy with the whole thing, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But you have Macho Man 94 catalog and another. I didn't even see any that didn't have the catalogs in them, so hopefully just threw those in at the end, or maybe that's why he kind of said. So that was 70 magazines. I'm pretty impressed overall. I thought I did really good on them. Got a few cool things, and thanks for being here with the video and watching through it. If you stayed this long, it's like you are as crazy a wrestling fan as I am, and I appreciate you watching the channel. And we'll hopefully have another unboxing soon.